Well, friends, it looks like the DNC, the Democratic National Committee, the Democratic Party is done. I think we should be saying our last rites over the DNC. I do believe they have killed themselves. They have committed suicide. They have destroyed every sense of responsibility, ethnic, just in every which way. Their ethics are out the window. Their belief system is out the windows. They're becoming more of a terrorism organization than a political party. And well, let's jump right into this and see what's going on.
Longtime Democrat Randi Weingarten stepping down from her DNC post after criticizing Ken Martin's leadership. The teachers union president writing a letter to Martin saying, quote, "I appear to be out of step with the leadership you are forging, and I do not want to be the one who keeps questioning why we are not enlarging our tent and actively trying to engage more of our communities." Former Michigan gubernatorial candidate Tudor Dixon joins me now. And Tudor, for those that don't know, Ken Martin now runs the DNC. He had a little battle with his vice chair, David Hogg, and David Hogg's now out. Randi Weingarten's out.
Okay, so Hogg is out, Weingarten is out. The DNC leadership, they're turning it over like changing dirty underwear. I mean, there's just no leadership. From the top down, there's no leadership. They don't have a clue what they're doing. They don't have a direction. They don't have a plan. And apparently they don't have a consensus. They can't get their own people to agree what direction they want to go and what they want to do. It's an absolute disaster.
Latest example of the Democrat Party literally imploding at the seams, Tudor. Do they get it together before the midterms?
No.
Oh, I mean, right. It's almost like we're watching a breakup every single day now. But I think the more important thing to talk about here is that the Democrat Party is not radical enough for these people. We said that for a long time.
Did she just say that? The Democratic Party is not radical enough for these people. Seriously?
Time, especially during 2020 when Randi Weingarten was keeping kids out of school. She had a huge influence over our children's education, and it was for the negative. And yet people were saying, no, she's just a moderate Democrat. She's not a moderate. David Hogg was not a moderate. David Hogg was ousted because he was trying to primary Democrats that he did not think were socialist enough. This party is breaking right now because it's not the moderate old Democrat Party. They are moving towards socialism. And when she says she wants to include other communities, they're not American communities. And that's the problem. The Democrats don't want, they see why some of them see why they lost in 2024. And Randi Weingarten doesn't want to hear about it. David Hogg doesn't want to hear about it. And we may just see the party completely break apart.
Okay, so you're an expert in
Yes.
politics. Which one of these sides wins out in the end? The new blood, the David Hoggs of the world, really trying to force this party even further to the left, or what I'm going to call the old guard.
He was kicked out.
And I don't really know what their position is, to be quite frank with you. All I know is that old guard that's being led by Ken Martin wants to
Neither
retain
do they.
power at all costs. So which side wins out?
Well, I think we're going to be watching very closely what happens in your city of New York this next couple of weeks as we watch this primary play out, and we see that the candidate who has openly said, I am a socialist and I want to bring socialist policies to one of the most powerful cities in the world, and he's gaining traction. This is happening right now in the Democrat Party, and I believe that if we see that go that direction, if we see him win that primary, then the Democrat Party is very close to being completely lost.
I think that's a
Two things going on in New York. Not only is this primary going on, but right now the two people running for mayor is Cuomo, who was kicked out for illegally doing stuff already, and a real left Muslim guy New York's traditionally a Jewish community. I grew up in New York. I grew up on Long Island, Port Washington. I had to drive past this huge synagogue to go to school every day. It's a predominantly Jewish neighborhood. And so for them to elect a Muslim would be astounding to me. And maybe it was just, where I'm located, but, you see it all over. I mean, New York City, you go down to the jewelry exchange, it's all Hasidic Jews. So I don't know what's going on in New York. And because of that, and because it's such a unique place, different than every place else in America, I don't think it's a good litmus test. She's saying that, there's this primary going on and that may make decisions. I'm going to disagree with that because I think New York is just too unique and specific unto itself, different from everywhere else in America. And what happens in New York does not necessarily translate to what happens to America. So I disagree with that. But yeah, some strange things going on in New York. But I do agree with both of their perspectives that, the DNC is, put a fork in it, it is done.
Really good indicator. I think you're right to point that out. Somebody who seems to be absolutely on the outs with his own party, Senator John Fetterman, facing backlash yet again from the Democrats for supporting Trump's military parade on Saturday, posting the following on X. This parade is comprised of our sons, daughters, mothers, and fathers, the very best of us. Regardless of your politics, it's appropriate to celebrate the 250 years of sacrifice, dedication, and service. Amen. But that wasn't good enough for the left. A Philadelphia progressive group leader calling out Fetterman at a No Kings protest over the weekend, saying the following: "We are looking to the leaders who will fight for us because even today there are folks among the Democrat Party who think we should roll over and play dead." Anyone seen John Fetterman here?
Okay, but the thing of it is, Fetterman is fighting for them. He's fighting for them to regain some sense of normalcy, to bring back some intelligence, to return them to sanity, and they're just not hearing it. And who'd have thunk that Fetterman, of all people, Fetterman would be the one that would be the leader in the Democratic Party to go back into a more centrist type mentality. Unreal. And of course they're chastising him for it. Shows the deep level of ignorance that runs through the DNC, and it's why, that's fundamental as to why the DNC is dead.
Look, this parade was patriotism, not politics. Why can't the progressive left acknowledge and honor the parade, honor our sacrifices of our brave men and women in the military, who ultimately fought for that right to do what they did over this weekend, which is those No Kings protests? It doesn't make sense to her.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, it doesn't make sense. I mean, this is really an extension of the conversation that we're already having. I was watching the parade over the weekend, and I think one of the most powerful moments, honestly, was when Joey Jones was on your program talking about this, and he said, look, we fought this war for 20 years. We came home, it ended badly. No one talked about it. There was no celebration. Morale was at an all-time low when Donald Trump took office. And now, today, we spend the day celebrating the people that went out there and fight and lost limbs, like Joey Jones. He was showing how much it meant to him and talking about how much it meant to everybody else. Why in the world would that be something the Democrats would attack? And this again goes to the fact that their party is just separating from American values, celebrating the people that keep you safe. It makes me laugh because this is also the party that wants to have an award ceremony for everything, and they want to make a big deal and dress up, and they want to be on TV. But to celebrate the men and women that allow them to do that every day, that allow them to dress in any way they want and go out and get whatever award they want, they won't take the time to celebrate them. That makes me sick.
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of time before we start introducing him as independent John Fetterman. But we'll see. Judah Dixon, thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, independent John Fetterman. I would not be surprised if John Fetterman decided to join the Republican Party. And there is a flood of people right now that are running away from the DNC and becoming Republicans or becoming independents because because the DNC has just lost it. They have gone far too far in the wrong direction, that they have alienated their base, they've alienated their membership, and the policies that the new people seem to want to go and follow are so un-American. I can't imagine a political party that could be any worse. And I'm thinking back to the political parties we've had in the past. You know, the Communist Party was a political party here in America for a while. The Ku Klux Klan was in essence its own party. White supremacists, skinheads. You know, you've got all these various groups that, thank God, never really gained much traction. Not enough traction to ever become a real permanent part of the American landscape. But man, the DNC, they have just lost it. May they rest in peace. Thanks, friends. Appreciate you watching. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, ring, ding, ding the bell. Thank you for listening. Please do subscribe. I need all the subscribers I can get. Thank you.